Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to 8 Moon Phases. My name is Chivis and today we're starting something new, but it's something that must be done. Also, I'm going to give you guys an update of our past projects. I have found the pattern for the yellow and gray blanket that I showed you guys in the last video, so I have continued to work on that a little bit. I don't think you can tell much of a difference, but let me go ahead and grab it and I'll show it to you. So here's where we are so far. I've done maybe 5 or 6 more rows from where we last were, and then I'm just trucking along with the yarn that we have here. Again, I'm only going to do whatever we are able to do with the yarn that we have left. This is the yellow. I do have the gray, and it's about the same size because you're kind of using the same amount as you go. So whatever this gets us to, that is how big our blanket is going to be. I have been working on it for a while, and I'll go ahead and insert the clip now. So as I've been working on this blanket, I encountered an issue and I now know that I need to be more careful. I trapped my yarn with my other yarn. So I'm going to have to frog the gray, which is all of this, to be able to get my yarn out. I was about to start with this yellow side, and yeah, how fun. All right, next thing I have completed, I told you guys that I was going to, our, whoopsies, backwards, our cross stitch, I can't adult. This one is completely done now. I just need to, I'm going to give it a little bit of a wash, a little bit of a soak so we can get out all those wrinkles, all these hoop markings, and then I need to find a way to frame it. I might put it into an actual like picture frame and display it like that, or I might use one of the actual hoops to display it. I'm not sure, but this is where we currently are. It is completed and I'm excited. Finally, we're checking things off that whip list. One more update on finishing is our other embroidery, which is our bird that we were doing. It is completely done now, and I just need to iron it a little bit so I can remove all of the pen markings, but for the most part you're not able to see them that much because they did get covered with the actual stitching. So this is where we are. If you notice, I did do a few changings here. This one was wrong, actually, the way that I was doing it, but then I went back, saw how it was done, and I was able to fix it, and these looked a lot better. So we have that. The other image is now up. I believe it is a jaguar. But again, let me know down below if you guys want me to continue to update you in the making of this book, or if you just want like occasional updates throughout other projects, which is also fine. So I feel very accomplished this past week. I know that I missed an upload on Thursday, but I've been very, very busy. But I have been working, as you guys can see. And we also did start a new project, which is the sloth. I had mentioned that it's something that we have to do. But before we move on to that, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, enable that notification bell, that way you'll be notified every time that I upload a video. If at any point throughout this video you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button. It is free and it helps a lot. Let's go. All right, I have my yarn. I'm going to be using the Loops and Thread Charisma. This is the color beige. I have the color caramel, and I have the color off-white, which is how this would look. So I'm going to be using this for the body and the outer part of the head. This is going to be the face, and then this is going to be like the little eye patches that I'm going to be doing on it. Now, I have a dilemma. I don't have a specific pattern for it. I'm kind of just going based off of reference images that I have seen. I know that it needs to be big enough, or that at least the body needs to be big enough to fit a 5 pound sack where the beads are going to be, or the polyfelt, the what is it called? Poly pellets, I think they're called. Um, the head is going to be normal, arms are going to be normal, legs are going to be normal. The arms need to be long, is what I was asked for, and yeah. So I don't have the pellets as of right now because there's something else that was asked, is that if there was a way for the pellets to be removable so it could get washed. I've never done something like that. This is the same person that I previously did a turtle for. I'll put it right here. Um, and I sewed that in, so that isn't able to be washed, well, or to remove them to be washed. It can be washed, but the turtle was about 18 inches long ish. It was quite big because again, it had to fit the 5 pounds, and the little pouch that I put in the center for the beads was actually out of like the stockings that people like, the stretchy ones, tights, I think, yeah, tights. And that's what I did with that. I'm gonna try my best to do the removable portion of it. I did let them know it may not be possible because again, I do want it to be stuffed somewhat. So I was thinking of doing like the body, but then like an inner lining where it could still be stuffed, but it's gonna hold the other part there, and then just kind of put a button either on the back or at the bottom, where they can insert the pellets. I don't know. It's something to determine. I am going to start, I think, with the head is the easiest part. Once I have the size of the head, I'll be able to determine like the length of the arms, because again, they want the arms to be long, like the bigger than any part of the body. I should probably do the body first. I think I'm going to do the outer portion of the body, and then I kind of remember the size of the little pellet pouch that I made before, so I can probably use that as a reference, try to replicate it in some way, just to see if I have the correct size. Hopefully, we shall see. But I need to get started because when I travel to my race, I will be taking this with me because my friend that I'm doing this for lives in the city that I will be visiting. So instead of having to ship it to her, um, it's going to be delivered. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the body part. Hopefully, I have enough yarn. If not, I'm going to have to find a way to get more yarn. I know that one of the Michaels in my city had stock. I don't know if it still does. And two of the other ones don't, because one of them I bought all of the stock and the other one just didn't have it. So there is one option. I do have a neighboring city that is close by that is about 30 minutes away. I would need to see if their Michaels has any, but that's just in case. I'm hoping that I do. I made a cowl earlier this year, well, last year actually. But and I had more than enough. I used the same yarn in green and brown, I believe. So I have more than enough yarn. I had more than enough yarn left. I'm hoping this is going to be enough. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome back. It is the next day. Currently, I have this much of the body, and I'll show you in a bit. I did have 1 pound of the previous pellets that I had. So I'm kind of using that as an insert. I know that I need to multiply it times 5 to be able to fit it, or to be able to measure adequately. Yes. For the body. Now, I've done this much. I want to say it's about a third of the body. It's going to be a big one. I believe now it is going to be quite large. So I do have this much done so far. I've only used about this much of yarn. So I want to say it's like a third of the yarn left from one skein. So I still have 3 other skeins to use. Not worried there. But this is where we currently are. This is how we're currently looking. Again, this is the body. From based off of this, then I'll go ahead and do the dimensions for the head and everything else. Technically, this would be the top because again, I do want to leave that insert. I'm probably going to make the lining out of fabric, not yarn, because it's going to be easier to funnel the pellets in. If I leave an opening big enough to insert the whole thing like this, then I would have to leave all of the bottom open, and it's going to be really hard to create some sort of cover for it. So I'm thinking of probably doing it with fabric, adding a zipper to it, and that way you're just able to like funnel the pellets in, close it up. If you want to wash it, you throw them back out, put them in a thing, wash the sloth, and then once it's dry, you fill it back in. Seems fairly simple. I obviously would have to explain that to her once I deliver this, but again, I'm about a third of the body. I would need to add a little bit more, about that much more, to be able to fit in the 5 pounds. And then we move on to the head. Move on to the head and the legs. I have a feeling I may need to purchase more yarn. I have 2 weeks to complete this project. Hopefully I can get it done beforehand. But again, once it's done, it'll travel with me. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on this. And then see how much more we can get done before the end of this video. All right, so I'm about halfway, I think, with the body. It's going to be a chunky one. This is more or less how it's looking so far. Again, I've tried the beads that I have. I am going to need to order a few more. I used to buy them at Joann's, but it's no longer here. So I am going to have to order some online. Sorry if all that bag noise. I borrowed some rice to also put in here. And again, I'm about halfway through. That is about 2 pounds so far. And I think just adding the other half of the body is going to work fine. In the meantime, because again, I am going to leave an opening at the bottom, and I would like to put like a zipper to it at the bottom for where the pellets are going to go, and then just kind of put like a flap over the bottom that is going to cover the pellet thing. I'm trying to make an insert of sorts to how it would look. That's what I have so far. It's literally just like an oval of sorts that will be in here. And this is just so the pellets don't go everywhere. Because again, obviously this has little holes. And the pellets would just start to spill out if I didn't put a lining on it. So I was thinking of making like a little pouch with this. It's just an old shirt that I cut up. So I'm I'm going to try to sew it, see how it works, see if it fits, and then I'll figure out the bottom zipper portion later. I'm thinking the zipper is the easiest part. I may be wrong. I'm also maybe thinking a drawstring might work, but if I do a drawstring, will the beads spill where the drawstring closes? So those are my two options right now. I do have this because this would be like the bottom portion of it. So it would essentially look like this. I know it looks a little bit big. I did make it bigger than what I need. Simply because I'm thinking of doing the French seams where you have to like sew it and then flip it and sew it again. And that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, just so it's completely enclosed. So it would look something like this hemmed. I did put about an inch on the entire thing around it. I will trim it down whenever the time comes, but that's essentially what my plan is looking like right now. I was gonna sew it right now, but I think I'm gonna finish off this skein of yarn. I'm still on the first one, so we're looking pretty good. I think it's gonna work fine. I always tend to overbuy because I'm scared of running out. Hence, for the elephant, I literally have 2 skeins of green left and 2 skeins of brown left because I purchased more than I needed. But again, I like to play it on the safe side rather than struggle. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be enough. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this skein then, and then I'll probably work on the insert. I think for today's video, we may just finish with the body, and then on the next video, we'll continue with the head and the arms, which I think are going to be a little bit easier, simply because once I have the proportions and the dimensions of the body, I just kind of need to make sure that they play along. The legs are going to be short. I'm going to make them very stumpy because I want to make the arms long. So I'll make the legs short. The head is going to be medium size-ish. And then just the arms. Do sloths have tails? I need to research that. If they do, I need to make sure that I add the little tail at the bottom once I have it. But I think all those I'm going to sew on. I usually like to crochet as I go to add those on. But because I don't have the proportions yet, I think it'll be safer just to sew them in at the end. But yep, that's what we're working on. Again, I think we're halfway through with this and kind of measuring and the weights. Again, I don't have the whole 5 pounds yet, but with the 2 pounds, it leaves enough space. So that'll be about 2.5. And then I just need to add the bottom part to compensate for the remaining half of the weight. But yeah, I'm going to continue then working on the body, and then I'll do the insert, and then we'll see how we're looking there. So I've advanced quite a bit on the project. However, I do believe I'm going to have to pause at least on the body because I need to wait for the beads to come in, or the pellets. I revisited the idea with my friend, and she no longer wants the inside removable. So we're going to go ahead and just do the normal lining inside, put the pellets, and then close it up, not leaving a flap for it to open. I don't need to insert a zipper. I don't need to do any of that stuff. It's just going to be the normal closing. Here's where we are on the body so far. I believe we're close to finishing up the body. Again, it's quite large of the large capacity. This is what I have left of the first skein so far. In the meanwhile, I have started to, and you guys saw the clip earlier of me frogging. I have started to figure out how I'm going to do the legs and the arms. Now, again, I am going to make the legs significantly shorter than the arms simply because the arms are going to be extreme. Again, she just said, can you make a sloth with long arms? So I'm assuming they want larger than normal. But this is what it's looking so far. I have frogged it about 4 or 5 times. I have notes that I'm making on this paper to just try and figure out what would look best. So I'm tapering it a little bit at the bottom and I'm opening it more. Currently, I started with 5 chains at the bottom. I'm now currently at 16 all around. And then I believe I'm just going to make it up to 18 and then continue to grow from there, whether it's the legs or the arms. Obviously, the arms would be a lot longer. Legs don't need to be as long. Now, I don't know where exactly I'm going to place them. Imagine legs this big. That'd be hilarious. But I'm still figuring out the placement. I think I'm going to do the legs somewhere here. And then the arms will be on the side. I think I'm going to do the arms closed this way so they can move up and down. The legs, not so much. The legs I might sew on open, but they won't have much movement on there. So that's where I'm at so far. I'm still feeling uneasy about the yarn. I feel like I should order more. I did go online to see if they had any available or in stock, and they currently don't. So I would need to have it shipped, which then includes a shipping fee, and I don't like shipping fees. But I'm going to wait throughout this week to see if by any chance they are able to, or they restock locally. If they do, then I'll definitely go ahead and make the purchase and then just go and pick it up. But if not, then I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just order it, which is what I don't want to do. But we shall see. I do, however, have to order the pellets. I haven't yet. But again, I've been looking on Amazon for that one. I'm not going to order it off of Michael's. I might, though, to help with the shipping, but it's more expensive. I need to do a little bit of math on that, but I'm going to continue working on this then. I am going to call it a video there. I feel quite accomplished for all of the projects that we have finished this week. And this one shouldn't take long. I don't consider it taking more than the remainder of this week. Just pending the arrival of the pellets. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe, enable your notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.